Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we explore one of the darkest chapters in South African history, Apartheid, a system that separated people by race, took away freedom and changed millions of lives, from pain and struggle to freedom and hope. This is the story of how South Africa fought against injustice. ApartheidMuseum is one of the most important museums in South Africa. It tells the story of apartheid, a system of racial segregation and discrimination enforced by the government from 1948 to 1994. These are the brief history about apartheid. During apartheid, people were separated by race: black, white, colored, and Indians. Non-white South Africans faced restriction on where they could live, work, study, and travel. Many people fought against apartheid, including Nelson Mandela, Desmond Tutu, and other activities. The struggle includes protests, arrests, violence, and international pressure against the apartheid government. In 1994, apartheid officially ended when South Africa held its first democratic election and Nelson Mandela became president. The museum opened in 2001 in Johannesburg. Visitors enter through randomly assigned white or non-white entrance to experience how segregation worked. Inside there are photographs, videos, newspapers, personal stories, and exhibits showing the pain and resistance during apartheid. The museum also honors those who fought for freedom and equality. This museum is very important because it helps people understanding the suffering caused by racism and segregation, the importance of equality and human rights, how South Africa changed from apartheid to democracy. In front of me is the famous Apartheid Museum in Johannesburg, South Africa. A place tells the painful history of apartheid, the journey to freedom. Inside this museum, you will discover powerful stories, photographs, and memories that shows how South Africans fought against racial segregation and injustice. So let's go inside and check.
So the cut I give you guys normally to classify you as a white or okay. Yeah, so the meaning of apartheid is like apartheid segregation. So just the experience of apartheid when you enter the main entrance of the museum, right? So never mind black or white, you can enter anywhere you want.
All right.
Yes. So what time now? Remember, I'm not going to be your guy inside the museum. It's going to be the sale for 2 hours. So behind here we have the museum shops. That side is where we exit by 3:30. Okay. We are going to meet that side by 5:00. Right? Okay. So from that side we continue going to forward. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
What are you doing this, sir?
Even your map is numbered from 1 up until 32 months. Right? So the color number is that working inside the main entrance of it.
Using your own helpers. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
In front of me at the ApartheidMuseum, visitors are separated into white and non-white entrance, a powerful reminder of how people were divided during apartheid in South Africa because of their race. This is a corridor inside the ApartheidMuseum, filled with powerful memories from South African apartheid era. Walking through here gives you a deep feeling of the pain, struggle, and courage of the people who fought for freedom and equality. The first white settlers to colonize the Johannesburg area were mainly Dutch descendant Boers, also known as Africans. Later, British settlers arrived after the discovery of gold in 1886, leading to the rapid growth of Johannesburg and the beginning of the racial segregation and later became apartheid. This shows some of the first group people who arrived and settled in Johannesburg during the apartheid era. The museum explains the racial segregation shaped the city and affected the lives of millions of South Africans for many years. Inside the ApartheidMuseum, you'll find a powerful and emotional journey through South Africa history. You'll learn about Nelson Mandela and the other brave leaders who fought against apartheid and dedicated their lives, ending racial segregation and injustice. Through photographs, video, and personal stories, the museum shows how people suffered under apartheid law, but also how they resisted and never gave up hope. It tells the story of courage, sacrifice, and unity that eventually led to a freedom and democracy in South Africa. Walking through the museum gives you a deep understanding of how far the country has come and why the struggle for equality and human rights is so important. During apartheid in South Africa, black people were denied basic rights, separated from their families, and forced to live under strict racial laws. People could not freely choose where to live, work, study, or even travel because of the color of their skin. But despite the pain and oppression, millions of South Africans continued to fight for freedom, equality, and justice. After moving around the ApartheidMuseum, these are my notes about ApartheidMuseum. Apartheid was a system of racial segregation and discrimination that existed in South Africa from 1948 to 1994. The word apartheid means separation in Afrikaans. What happened during apartheid? People were divided by race: white, black, colored, and Indians. Black South Africans were forced to live in separate area called township. They needed special passes to travel or work in white areas. School, hospitals, transport, and public services were separated and unequal. Black people had fewer rights and opportunities. Resistance and struggle. Many people fought against apartheid through protests and activities. Leaders like Nelson Mandela and Desmond Tutu played a major role. Groups like the ANC, African National Congress, led the fight for freedom. Many activists were arrested, including Mandela, who spent 27 years in prison. End of apartheid. Apartheid ended in 1994. South Africa held its first democratic election. Nelson Mandela became the first black president of South Africa. ApartheidMuseum. ApartheidMuseum shows the history of apartheid through photos, stories, and exhibition. Why is it matters for people to go and visit ApartheidMuseum in Johannesburg? Teaches about racism and human rights. Shows the importance of equality and unity. Reminds the world to never repeat such injustice. Thank you for watching. Join me on the next journey as we explore more amazing places and history.